We got a bunch of people here already. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, I have pinned the right comment at the top of the chat box. Not what I did last week. Um, let's see. Got Froggy. Okay, getting dinner and Sharon. Oh, Froggy's back. And Terry and Tracy. Yes, Deborah's birthday is on the 26th. I think it's this Saturday. Yeah, it's next week because my daughter's is on the 23rd, and I know hers is a couple of days later because I saw it in my planner. Um, gotta love the post office. I don't like them. Yes, I'm a little late to the party using the mushrooms. I mean, that's been out for how long? Hello, Carol. Um, the day after. Oh, so then I guess next Friday we probably won't see you, Terry, because it'll be your anniversary. I don't see Yvonne. So Yvonne's probably cooking dinner or something, taking care of the hubby. So I saw them Monday night. So Monday was Don's birthday, and we all went to dinner. So it was myself and two other couple friends that we went to Firebirds for dinner. And I will say that Don walked slow. However, he was doing pretty good as far as moving around. Um, but yeah, he seems like he's doing okay. And as a matter of fact, uh, they had gone to a friend's house and then they rode with them to come get me. And then we met the other couple up at the restaurant. And actually, driving in the dark is something Yvonne doesn't really do. So Don actually drove, and she said he was doing pretty good. So yeah, so he's getting better. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not expecting to see Yvonne um, coming here to visit until probably in November. Because I kind of figured, a whole month, to, kind of take care of him. I mean, he has stood and he's cooked at the stove, but can't stand too long. So yeah, so she's being the good wifey and she's cooking and all that. So yeah, so I'm not really expecting to see her here on the weekends in October, and that's totally okay. I totally understand, and that's totally fine. Um, I will say that this past week I took PTO the whole week, and I will say that I got a lot done. So next week, the Thursday video, which is was it frame scenes, that's done. It's recorded, it's scheduled for next Thursday. uh Next Fridays, oh yeah, that's done already. I just couldn't create the little thumbnail and the upcoming live until this one's done, but that's all done. Then the following week, the last week of October, I am working on, what is it, trucking along. I got one card done. I need one more. And I can film that and schedule that. And then work on the last Friday of the month, which is also Halloween, and work on that. So that should go as easy as next Friday's, because So the next 2 Fridays after tonight is going to be Halloween. And I know that, not everybody does Halloween. And if I remember right, was it like maybe last year? I think it was that Froggy, was it you, Froggy, that had won a card, but you don't do Halloween, and I think I swapped it out for, like a regular card because I got plenty of cards in my stash here. So, um, I can totally do that. What I can do, which would be kind of cool, is take the card that maybe I made and then kind of alter it to make it a non-Halloween card. That's an idea. So um yeah, I don't know if Deborah. Yes, okay, yeah, I do remember I did do that last year. So yeah, last year I mean, well, the year before that I did a lot. I mean a lot of Halloween themed stuff, like for the Thursdays and all that. It was a bit much. I mean, even for me, it was a bit much. It was a lot of black, gorgeous grape, pumpkin pie, and granny apple green. I used those colors a lot. And I thought, you know what? The next year, I wasn't going to do as many, which I didn't. And then this year, I just went with what they had made available. And so, yeah, next Friday is going to be the Fright Night bundle, which I did use some of the spooky sweet stuff in those cards. And then the spooky sweet will be the last Friday. But yeah, I've been busy getting everything, kind of trying to get all of my video content kind of like done. So like my Fridays, they're good to go. I just need to what do you call it? The next one I have to complete the PDF with the video link. And again, I can't schedule more than one live. Evidently it doesn't work. I even tried to do a search in YouTube to find out. It doesn't give me no straight answers. So but yeah, I've gotten quite a bit done, and it turns out that my paper pumpkin kit. Now I'm just trying to figure out what is the best way to have my paper pumpkin, sent. So in the past, Stampin' Up, I mean, yes, they use UPS, but it was Mail Innovation. So meaning it started with UPS, they would bring it to Nashville, and then from Nashville it would come through the post office. So then it's like when I needed the replacement one because I didn't get it, yeah, they went and sent it through the post office, and I had this address on it because I was hoping it was going to be UPS, so then I can have them redirect that paper pumpkin. No, I don't know where it is. It's probably lurking around somewhere in the Memphis distribution warehouse, because you know what? They went to the whole day and said it was out for delivery, but they didn't deliver it here. They could have just brought it back to the post office. Didn't need to go any further with it. And now I don't know where it is. But I did get that paper pumpkin done because Yvonne she did give me hers. So this is kind of like replacing the kit that I got that she gave me um, today. I, so now, okay, squirrel. So now it seems like they're not doing mail innovations anymore. So this one, the one for October, uh, I have this address on it, and it goes through UPS, which once I see that that it has shipped, well, then I can go to the website, go and click on that tracking number, and I can have it redirected to go to the UPS store. So today it was delivered to the UPS store. So tomorrow morning, there's some running around that I'm going to do early in the morning, and yeah, try to get all the stuff that I need to get done because tomorrow, I don't know if anything, well, I think during the afternoon there's a chance we can start seeing rain and storms. And then when it hits about 7 o'clock and later, then we're supposed to get some severe weather. So, yeah, I'm going to try and plan on getting back here and have plenty of time, and I can actually do that paper pumpkin video and I can get it posted tomorrow as well. So a lot of stuff that I've gotten done, and I guess once I get, you know, was it next Friday's done? No, not next Friday, the following Friday. Once I get that done, then I also already know what I'm going to do for my monthly Christmas card inspiration on the 1st, so I can actually do that one too. So kind of like empty out this bucket here and have all of that stuff done and either scheduled to go or just ready to be done as a live. And then I could start thinking about what I want to do for November. So basically at this point for November, it it's pretty much gonna be all Christmas. Now there's a lot of Christmas stuff, and like I said, my plan is to try and use all of this stuff that I had gotten, before that catalog is done, along with those the newer online exclusives. So right now there's pre-order for demonstrators on new stuff coming out next month that's online exclusive, and there's a lot of cool things that I have seen. Haven't gotten any of that stuff yet. I'm just trying to get all caught up and get ahead of the game and everything. So, but yeah, there are some cool things that are out there for our pre-order. Um, if you've been debating whether or not you wanted to get the starter kit and become a demonstrator you don't have to do classes, you don't have to do videos. You can just get that discount and get all the little perks for being a demo. Um, you can actually take the pre-order stuff for November's online exclusives and you can put that in your starter kit if you wanted to. So let's see. Just looking at the comments. Froggy, you got snow. Yeah, you're over there. Was it you over there by the Pacific Northwest? I saw that there was a lot of rain over in that area. Um, okay, I was just looking at a comment. Yeah, so yeah, got all that stuff done. So I feel like I got a lot accomplished last night. Last night I actually didn't go to bed till almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, there's times like if I just like sit and I'm watching like YouTube videos or something, I will like sit there and I'll start to like kind of want to doze off. But I'm like, okay, I got to find something to do. So I actually got um, my last box of floss all wound up. So another, what was it, like 75? Oh, this is box number 1. This isn't the right box. But box number 5, I got all the rest of my floss now wound up and in the box. And at some point, I want to pull something out. I want to work on it. And I think by getting this stuff done ahead of time, that frees up some time for me to do other stuff. So I have diamond painting stuff that's fall themed that I can do. I got some cross stitching stuff I can do. So yeah, and then I got what do you call it? I took advantage of that kit sale that Stampin' Up had, and I started to put what is it, the Common Bright kit together. First off, this is what I'm just kind of curious about, and I don't know why Stampin' Up does this, but why do they you put, in their kits, whether it's Paper Pumpkin or if it's any of the other kits, they put these dimensionals that are thicker than what we sell. Like, I mean, little ones, well, yeah, so like little ones, I mean, that's how thick, when you go and buy them, that's how thick they are. But the ones that come in a kit are thicker. I don't like that extra height on the dimensionals. So I went and I started to put it together. And let me tell you, what you see online for that kit does not do it any justice at all. There is like some glimmer die cuts in it. Even the layers for the cards. I mean, all the card bases are kind of like a linen texture, and then it's really really pretty. So I just it's a really pretty kit, so I highly recommend it. If you were on the fence, it's got the like a little bit of that shimmer in the layer of for the card fronts and all that. So, yeah, I started with one card. My ink was a little too inky, so and then again the dimensionals. I think I'm going to swap them out for the regular ones because I don't like, the height that it gives when you use those. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, Terry, it was still warm here, but after tomorrow, um, after when these storms kind of come through, it's supposed to be like in the 70s, and I'm looking forward to that. The only thing that kind of stinks that when it's rainy and breezy and cooler out, unfortunately, I can't like open up this window over here or the window over there because a majority of the time it's either the south or it's the west that the rain hits the windows. I mean, I can open up my patio door, but I like the rain. I really do. But they are talking about that there could be some areas that flood. We're not going to get anything flooding, here. I may have a river or a little lake going on behind, outside my window, like it usually does when we get heavy rain. But yeah, so that's what's kind of going on. So I think tonight, what I'll do before I go to bed, I have some battery backups. I even have one of those rechargeable little lanterns that you can also use batteries with. Charge all that stuff up and guarantee the power won't go out when I got all that stuff ready to go just in case. So hopefully, I mean, we've gotten some severe weather months ago and the power never went out. So we should be good. It's just that it's going to happen in the evening after it's gotten dark. It's supposed to start around 7, and around that time, yeah, it's going to be dark because you can definitely see that now it is getting dark earlier. And what is it? Not next Saturday, but the following Saturday, November 1st. Well, before you go to bed, turn the clocks back an hour. So, yeah, it's going to be fun when I have to drive back from Mississippi and it's already starting to get dark by the time I get home. So, yeah, not looking forward to that. All right, so with that, there's really like nothing much as far as what's happened. Like I said, I've been just really, really busy, getting a lot of stuff done ahead of time and doing good with that, and just kind of free up some time, like on the weekends or maybe in the evenings to be able to do something else and not stress about it and be up until some ridiculous hour trying to get a video done and scheduled for a few hours later. So I feel good about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and flip this over, just a couple of things, housekeeping type of things, to show you, and make sure I got everything situated here. Let me move this out of the way, and let me go ahead and flip this and kind of get it in place. So I ordered yesterday off of Amazon a little like 3-inch acrylic level that has like the little blue liquid in it. And what's really cool about this, it not only acts like as a small little ruler, but it has the level that goes vertical and horizontal. And for some reason, and I know it has to do with the stand that my phone sits in, that when I take pictures, it's almost like the camera's like at an angle like this. So when I go to crop the photos, evidently it's not looking straight down. And so things look like they're at an angle. So I thought, well, let me get one of those and see if that'll make things look better, when I go to either take my pictures or when I'm filming. And so we'll see how that turns out. It turned out that that was delivered not all that long ago. So, yeah, that's another thing that I'll pick up tomorrow. But what's nice, the UPS store and the Amazon locker is in a Five Below, and the two are literally right next door to each other. So I can walk in, get the stuff from one place, and then walk right next door and get the stuff from there. So yeah, so we're gonna see how that all works. Okay, so what's happening? Okay, so next week on the 23rd, so next Thursday, that's actually my daughter's birthday. Stampin' Up! Is going to have their Traditions of Christmas craft class. Um, you can, to sign up for the class, it would be just like as if you were placing an order and adding things to the cart. The craft class, you just put the item number in there. The cost of this here in the US is $30, and in Canada it's 41. Now, that's just the cost of the class itself. It doesn't include like any materials or product or anything like that. They are using the Traditions of Christmas Sweet Collection. So if you have that and you want some ideas and learn new techniques and stuff with the projects that they're going to make, um, this is one of those things that's it's going to be available like whenever. So if it's after the 23rd, you can still purchase the class, you can go back, you can watch the content, and they'll send you the link. I think it's a private Facebook group, but I would think that the video content of it, that they wouldn't be keeping that on Facebook very long, because at some point Facebook is going to delete it. So yeah, so I did purchase this. Now, yeah, this is on next Thursday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, which means it's 3 o'clock my time. Yeah, I can tell you right now that I'm probably going to, that's going to be that day where, yeah, it's going to be a busy work day. So this is definitely something that I'm going to be watching later on. So again, it's 170073. And if you don't have the suite, you can easily create the projects with something else that you have. What they do is, once you do purchase that, they're going to send you an email that's going to have a PDF that's going to have dimensions of the cardstock and all that. So, I mean, you can create with something else that you may have. You don't necessarily have to purchase that sweet collection, because this sweet collection, it's one of those mega ones where it's got two stamp and die bundles in it. So it is a little more pricier than the other sweets. So yeah, so I did purchase this, so it's gonna be something that's gonna be after the fact that I'll end up watching, and then at some point put the projects together. The Advent calendar, the 12 Days of Crafting Advent calendar. As far as I know, this is still available, and it's not even on low inventory here in North America. So I did purchase it. Actually purchased one for myself and one for Yvonne. Now I know what's in the behind these little doors, but I have not opened mine yet. I figured that I would wait until Yvonne was here, and then we can open them up together. Now again, the packaging looks like it's Christmas, but the products that are in it, nothing in it is Christmas themed. So this is basically for all year round crafting. Now there are other demonstrators that have already kind of done like the sneak peeks where they opened up the doors, showed you what was in it. Some have already started creating projects as well. So um, yeah, so you may have seen what's already in this kit, but the kit is still available. The item number is 167335. Here in the US, it's $99. Um, then we got the joining special. For this, there's two different options. You can join for $35 and you can choose $125 of product in your starter kit, or you can do the $99 plus tax and you can choose $189 worth of product. Now, when I joined back in 2013, that they were celebrating their 25th anniversary, so I actually paid $25, but I only got to choose $25 in products. So if you have a pretty big wish list, or if you've been placing bigger orders, why not think about getting the starter kit, and then you can start at a 20% instant discount, which then at some point you could work it up to getting a 25% discount. Now, in the starter kits, you will get our current catalogs. From what I read, that Stampin' Up! Put out in their weekly updates is that I guess they've had a lot of people take advantage of this joining special. So I think going forward, the holiday mini catalog, instead of having an 8 pack in there, they're going to have like a single copy of the catalog. The regular annual catalog, it'll be a whole box of 8 of those. Um, there, what else is in there? There's a sample past paper pumpkin kit. You'll get what else? What else? Well, there's the business supplies. You get like the postcards. You get the catalogs. Again, with the starter kit, you wouldn't have to. There is a quarterly minimum that you have to meet, and that's here in the U.S. It's $300. Your quarterly minimum, you don't have to meet that until the end of March of excuse me, of next year. And even that, the if you haven't, either bought or you sold, that $300, what happens in April, it becomes a pending month, where that's kind of that month where you can make up the difference, to remain active. Now, if you don't want to remain active, that's totally fine. There's no commitment to this. You be a demonstrator, getting the discount for as long as you want. Again, you don't have to build it as a business, like we're doing videos, doing classes. You can just simply get the discount. And if you have friends who like the product as well, they can actually order that product through you. And then you would also earn a commission off of what people purchase through you. So if you have any questions at all regarding this, feel free to reach out. My email address is in the description if you have any questions at all. Really quick, because I'll go over this a little bit more when I do my paper pumpkin video. But this is the kit that is going to be for November. This is the Wrapped in Cheer kit. The subscription period opened up on October 11th. It'll go through November 10th. So for this one, you're going to craft festive goodie boxes perfect for holding gift cards or small treats. So it's going to make 8 projects for each of 2 tag designs with 8 identical coordinating boxes, foldable box bases and pre-cut paper pieces. There's linen thread and red dot embellishments. Um, and what does it say? Delicate greenery pieces with double-sided printing add a sophisticated touch. So this is the kit for November. So this subscription period for this is still open. And I see Andrea's here. Hello, Andrea. It's been a long time. Long, long time. Hope work hasn't been completely stressing you out like my job is stressing me out. Okay, and then there's also the coordinating dies add-on. These are the Abundant Joy dies. Here in the US, they are $12, and there is the item number for them. So these dies coordinate with the October, November, and December paper pumpkin kits. Again, the dies are to do like alternative projects. You don't need them to complete those projects in the kit, but they're just a nice fun add-on so you can do some additional crafting maybe with the pieces. Maybe you don't want to do gift boxes. Maybe you want to use those pieces to, make cards or something. So you can use the dies as well to do some extra little elements on your projects. So there is that. And hold on a second, where's my, I'm missing a page here. Missing a page, there it is. And then there is the PDF for the projects that I will be making tonight. I have already have it out there on my Google Drive. So again, the link that takes you to the drive where I have all of my PDFs, you'll find it in the description just above the list of supplies. Now, the other thing, let me bring something up here because so this video that I'm doing right now, this is video 299. So actually 300, when I get my paper pumpkin kit, that's going to be video 300. So there's a lot of video content, and I know there's over 80, probably close to like 88, and this is like I see it kind of bouncing in and out. Let me bring it up just a little bit and maybe it stops. Okay. So there are a lot of these PDFs out there. Has all the pictures of the projects. It's got all the dimensions. As far as what things are stamped with what, I put down that information. And so, yeah, there's a lot of them out there. And of course, the date here has the link that takes you right back to the video in which I created the projects. So with that, let's go ahead and let's get started. Let me kind of close this out so I can see what you guys are saying. Um, okay. This paper is the stamp set on the last one. No, actually, Andrea, the stamp set and the die, not the dies, but the punch, I think they're actually in the catalog. So they're not last chance. Now the paper, that was a celebration item that they added, what was it, like a month or two ago. Now that paper is gone, but I thought, hey, I'm using this bundle. This paper came out and it coordinated with it. So I needed to at least create one project using the paper. And that's what I'm going to do with the very first card. I'll drink some water. Okay. So, first card. And actually, on this card, there are also two items on it that are actually on the last chance list, and they are discounted. So one of them, I'm kind of surprised that we still have it and it's not already gone. So on this card, I'm using this is the just white ribbon, 1/4 inch ribbon. This is the one that went with the notes of texture. So this is on the last chance. This is marked down. And then also the iridescent faceted gems. This is the one that went with that rainbow designer series paper. Now I think the paper is still available, and these are still available, and these are also marked down as well. What does okay, that, Andrea, that has something to do with like top fans, and I think do I want to say it comes, yeah, well, I can't say that, maybe it's how many times somebody's commented in the chat box. um okay, how you rank in the interaction with the chat. Yeah, I always kind of like wondered what that was all about, but I don't know. But yeah, these two items that I'm using on this card, these are on the last chance, and they are discounted too. Okay, so now this card, my card base is Fresh Freesia, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Let me make sure this is the right one. Yep. My inside is basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. I have a piece of Granny Apple Green. This is 5 by 3 3/4. I have a piece of that Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. This one measures 4 3/4 by 3.5. And then with another pattern out of that paper, I have cut two that are 2-inch squares. And then I have a piece of scrap basic white. I'm going to do my stamping on this. Now on with the punch, the punch will punch out the two different toppers to the mushrooms, and then it only punches out the one stem. Now, the thing with the punch is that it doesn't leave that white border around the image. It actually punches within it, so you don't have a white border when you punch it out. So when it comes to the stem, it is going to punch it out a little bit smaller than what the stamp is going to stamp. Now on some of these, I did fussy cut. As a matter of fact, this first one, I did not use the punch for one of the stems. So yeah, I am doing some fussy cutting in this video. Usually I do it in advance, but they're not too bad as far as cutting them out. Then I have another piece of basic white. Focus, focus. Another piece of basic white. This was die cut out of the More Messages dies. Can I just say that I have only used this die? I haven't even used the stamp set that goes with it. I've used this one quite a bit. So we have that for our greeting. All right. So let me see. I don't think I stamped anything on the inside. So I'll fold and burnish this. Okay. We'll take our inside. I'll put this in there. Yeah, I need to get a passport too. I don't know if I trust the post office though. They may lose because, you know, they take your original documents and they send it for your passport to be processed and all that. And they're supposed to be sending it back, but the way they go, they'll end up losing it. And I mean, I did order extra copies. So, yeah. All right. So this does, for this piece of paper, what I'm going to do, I am going to take these two squares. I'm going to add some glue on them. And then I am going to put them, one of them in the upper right hand corner. Just kind of line that up. And then I'll take the other one and put that in the bottom left hand corner. Okay. Sorry. She loves being number one. Okay. So then we're going to place this one in this corner. Okay. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'll put it on my Granny Apple Green layer. Okay, and then I am going to take my ribbon and let me get my tape. Put this on here now. Okay, and I'm going to put that right across the middle. Try to get the middle here. Okay, one piece over here. And then on the other side. Actually, this paper, there's one pattern in it that I had used for my video yesterday. What, you know, the one that I paper pieced the cake. And it's funny because being that I kind of double dipped a little bit because since I was working on a video that was using, that was birthday themed. Yeah, one of those cards, it became Don's birthday card. So it all kind of like worked out where I saved myself a little bit of time. And yeah, one of those cards became his. So now I'm going to take another piece here. And I'm not going to tie a bow, but I'm going to tie a knot. So instead of just taking that one whole piece and just tying a knot with it, I'm like, why struggle when I can just do it this way? Okay, and then with this too, I can slide this and line it up where I want to have it, but I'm going to wait until after I put down my greeting piece along with my mushroom. So what I'll do with this right now, I will take my dimensionals and I will pop this up onto my card base. Oh, we making a trip to Canada? Hey, Oregon ain't far. I can like double dip my my travels. Now the only problem is once going to Oregon, am I going to want to come back? Because the last time I went, I really did not want to come back, to be honest with you, but unfortunately I had to because I really did like it out there. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'll layer this right on top like so. Okay, and again, I'm going to trim this and I'll line this up after I put my other pieces down. Okay, so then I'm going to stamp my greeting on this piece here. And I am going to use the greeting that says, "You are magical. You are magical." There it is. Oh, I'm going to need that again because I got to stamp those mushrooms. All right. So we got a block and we want, there's fresh Freesia. Fresh Freesia. Deborah! Aw, Deborah, we're thinking of you, hon. Okay. And I will stamp this right in the middle. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and some dimensionals. I've been to Canada, but not on the West Coast. On the East Coast, that side of Canada, yes, I have. When I used to live in New York. It wasn't too bad of a drive. Okay. And then I'm going to place this right over my ribbon like so. Whoops. Okay, and then I can take my ribbon and I'll trim my ribbon. So, okay, so now let's go ahead and stamp. Put that aside and we'll stamp our mushrooms on our scrap piece here. And let's see, what colors do we need? We need none of these colors. This one we need smoky slate, melon mambo, and pumpkin pie. And I think what I may need to do is get my spoon here, and I think I need to push some of let's see, kind of press this ink in. Even though I did this and I had these kind of stored upside down, they still become too inky. So let me stick that in there. And you do the same thing with melon mambo. Okay, and I got a thing of water over there. So let me just kind of rinse these off. Dry them off. Because I know that I'll probably need these for some of the other inks that I'm using. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my punch. Now I'm going to have to trim this before I put it through the punch, so that way I'm not punching more than I need to. Let's see, I need my mushrooms. So I need this big one, this one, and then we got the larger stem, and there's the smaller one. Okay, now blocks. Let's see, this one, this one, oops, and that one. Okay, make some room. All right, so let's do our pumpkin pie one first. And we'll stamp that one right there. And again, when you use the punch on these, it's not going to leave a white border around it. And then melon mambo. Melon mambo is one of these colors that you do have to like press this ink in, because when it's too inky, melon mambo is really, really dark. It's not, you know, it's not a brighter pink. Okay, and then let's close these up. And then we got smoky slate. So let's look how smoky slate looks. I'll press that ink in. Oh, okay. I'm looking at I was just looking at the comments. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to stamp my larger stem. Yeah, my smaller one. Now I want the thicker stem, so I'm not going to use the punch for that. All right. That. And get my punch. Okay. Kind of move it over so you see it doesn't go, it goes within the stamped image. So there's no white border on that. Okay, now let me separate these. And I'm going to have to trim this. Now, because I don't have much cardstock as far as a handle goes, this is where I pull out one of my sticky notes and kind of make a handle. So kind of like right on the edge. And then put this in my punch. I'll line it up if it'll let me. And then line this up. Okay. So there is our pink one. And those out of the way. And then bring these in. I got a lot of scissors out. And again, the punch is going to make this one really, really thin. So I wanted it to be on. So I'm just going to cut right along that stamped edge. I really like the last card that I made. I like how that one came out. Okay. Just trim that top. Okay. Now I'm going to take, where's my glue dots? Let's see, just looking at the comments. I was just reading Deborah's comment about what her sister said. Yeah, I know. Fussy cutting. Yeah. At least it's not too bad. One problem is the last card. That one's got like 5 mushrooms on it. Okay, so I'm going to add a glue dot just to the top. And then this larger stem is going to go right there on that mushroom. And the smaller one, that'll go on the melon mamba one like so. Okay, now these are going to be popped up. So put that, that. That. We can fit one of the large ones on the base of that stem. And then mini right there. Let's see. I think we're good there. All right, so let's get our card and our melon mambo mushroom. Okay, and then this one is going to go right up here. And then this one will go right over here. Okay, and now we need our little bit of bling. And again, like I said, these embellishments, these are really, really pretty. I really like these. These are on the last chance list, and they are discounted, I think. Are they like $5.10 now? It's been a little bit since I looked these things up. Okay, and then we got one here. And one right there. Okay, so there is our first card using that, what is it, Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. So this paper was a celebration item, was it like a year ago, I think, maybe, or 2 years ago. And they had leftover, they put it in the last chance. Now it has since sold out, so it is gone. But again, since this is the first time that I am actually using this bundle, I figured at least let me use the designer series paper that came out that coordinated it. So that's why I only did like just one card with it. The other cards, you can definitely get everything that I used on those cards. Okay, now I got a big mess going on here, guys. Let me quickly clean these off. So for the most part, we're using those same stamps. I gotta start moving some of the stuff out of my way because it's taking up all the space. And I need to flip my pages. So this one is for you, Terry. Let me drink some water. Okay. The next one. So these next two cards did a little, do I want to say distressing with these two. And I like how it came out. We're also going to be doing some white paint splattering on this. So, yeah, I'm going to have to like tidy this up a little bit. So then that way when I go to do that, I don't have everything covered. There's just a lot of stuff laying all over the place. Just need to kind of move some stuff out of the way. All right. So my card base, this is gray granite, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have, let's see, one is for the inside. Okay, so I have a piece of basic white for my inside, 5 1/4 by 4. I have a scrap for doing all of my stamping slash punching and fussy cutting on. I have a piece of Secret Sea. This measures 5.5 by 2 3/4. And then I have another piece of gray granite. This measures 5.5 by 2.5. And ahead of time, I had embossed it using the Birchwood 3D embossing folder. So I can take that and get that out of the way. Okay, so let me, oh, you know what I think I forgot to do? Let me bring back that first card before I go any further. I did forget to do something on here. Let me get my Winkastella. And I wanted to add some on here. Now, this Winkastella is going to pull up some of this ink. So I am adding, when I'm adding this, instead of brushing over the whole entire thing, 1, 2, 3, I'm kind of going around these white areas and just adding it to the Melon Mambo. So then that way it's not smearing that pink into the white. So you can see it did it a little bit right there. And then let me get a scrap piece of paper to kind of brush that off. You can see there's a little bit of pink right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my orange one. Okay, and then I'm also going to add some onto these stems. Okay, so now that card is done. Got a little bit of sparkle to it. Okay. Alright, so now that I got the scrap paper out, I am going to bring in my blending brush. And I'm also going to bring in, let's see, gray granite, Secret Sea, and then this is a cloud cover. And I think that's the only colors. Gray granite that, yeah, I got it. All right, so let me burnish this. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure I grab the right piece. And take this piece here and put this inside my card. Inside the card, not on the front. Okay. Then I'm going to take my gray granite and I have my little blending brush. I'm going to add some along this top and bottom edge. Now the last card that I'm doing, I actually made that card first. So this I think was the last one I did. So I kind of took some of the stuff that I did on this card, that'll be my last one, and I kind of brought it into this card as well. Okay, so we got that. Now what I want to do with this too, I want to bring in my stamp that says popping up to say hi. Where's my block? Okay, so now I'm just going to put that aside, bring in Secret Sea, and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp this right down here, straighten it out. And I'll stamp that right down here in this bottom right hand corner, like so. And then close this up for a moment. Then this piece of gray granite that I had embossed, I'm going to add some of this ink. And I'm going to brush some over the top so the raised areas would pick up some of that ink. Okay, do this side. Okay, and then I'm going to go a little bit more around this outer edge. I think Yvonne forgot. I haven't seen her on here yet. Okay, so we got a little bit of coloring on that. Now, what I want to do, I want to add some white splatters on this. So let me kind of move this stuff out of the way for a moment. And I have another piece of my grid paper here. Now I do have some of my white ink on here. Now when I did my samples, and this is the white re-inker, I had added too much water, so my spots didn't really come out or show up. And I got my water here. And I got my paintbrush, and I got my bone folder. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water, not too much. And yeah, that's much, much better. You can actually see them. Now, it would end up taking a bit of time for this to dry, just to air dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my heat tool, and we're going to heat dry this, because otherwise I'll just be smearing that white. I need an outlet. I need an outlet. Oh, and I got it all over my hand too. Yeah, when I went to do this on the sample cards, I had too much water, and so these white splatters didn't show up very well. They were just very, very faint. A little bit. Okay. Turn that off. Okay, and we'll set that aside. Now let's do our stamping. And I'll get this out of the way. And we'll bring that back out again when I go to do the last card. All right, so for these mushrooms, we're going to do these in Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, and Gray Granite. And where did I put my Gray Granite? Right there. Okay. All right, so we need 3 of our larger mushroom heads. Okay, and then for my cloud cover, let me get one of my spoons. There's a lot of ink on this foam. See if I can push some of that ink in, because it's pretty inky. Yeah, I can't do the same thing like I would. Like the foam pad doesn't do the same thing. Okay. So now I'm going to ink up this is definitely inkier. And ugh, that did not come out the way I wanted it to. That looks yucky. Yeah, it's got a lot of ink in it, so you can tell when you stamp it. Okay, and then I'll do one more. Okay. So then with the stems, I'm going to do those in gray granite. So let me get those. All right, so I need 3 of these larger ones. Let's see, do it this way. Two. And then 3. Okay, and then I need 2 of these smaller ones. And I'm thinking, did I use the punch for? I may have used the punch for these smaller ones. So for these, I only need, why did I do 3 of those other mushrooms? I only needed 2. Okay. Now, let's see, we need some scissors here. Okay, definitely have to separate. Okay, we got punch. There's one. Okay, and our last one. The question is, did I leave? Need my little handle. Okay, so there are the 3 large ones. Don't need this. Okay, now let's see which ones I like here. See, I gotta separate all these. Okay, so we want This one. Then we will go with this one. Okay, and that's excess, excess. And then, let's see. Pretty sure I did, hold on. Yeah, I did use the punch for these smaller ones. So just before I came on here to go live, I was cleaning up, you know, my dinner dishes and all that. And I was hearing like this buzzing, like there was something flying around, but I couldn't see it. And I'm like, oh, please tell me, like, you know, like a yellow jacket or something didn't, you know, get in here. And what's crazy, the whole entire day, there was nothing. I heard nothing flying around. I only had gone out one time, and this isn't gonna, and that was to take the garbage out this morning, and nothing all day. I didn't hear anything until I was like cleaning up, dinner. And man, come on, don't fight with me. And yeah, it turned out it was like a pretty big fly. And yeah, when I got done in the kitchen, I went into the bathroom. That thing had flown into the bathroom. Heard it in there, so I had closed the door. I had my fly swatter, and yep, it landed. I saw it. I hit it. It's dead. Because you can imagine what would be happening if I was doing this live and I didn't kill that fly. It'd be flying around here. It would be in my video, and it would just have me aggravated. But I don't know how it got in here, though. Because nothing, like I said, I heard nothing flying around all day. Come on, I need this to not get... Okay, so there's the two smaller stems. And then, now the fun part. The fussy cutting. Yeah, I learned very early on when I did my videos that I had done, now when I did my videos in the very beginning, I couldn't do what I do now. So like for my Throwback Thursdays, the Paper Pumpkin, you know, those are kind of like pre-recorded and then scheduled. And I was basically doing an unlisted live now. I think, was it my monthly Christmas card inspiration? I think it was. I thought I was on unlisted, and however, I wasn't. So I actually had company when I did that one. And it was like, oh, hi, Tracy. I wasn't expecting anybody popping on. But I found that that was like much easier and quicker on doing that pre-recorded stuff. In the beginning, I was actually doing, and I've learned that I was only able to do like 15-minute tops, like video clips. So I would do, say, uh, in the, like, I would do little, okay, what am I trying to say? Um, I would start off by, like burnishing, folding and burnishing my card base and doing some little items here and there. And then if there was things that needed to be embossed, or if there were things that needed to be cut out, or if there were things that needed to be colored, that was in its own video clip. And sometimes the video clip may be like, I don't know, like maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depending on what it was that I was doing. And so what was really cool is I had used Clipchamp to speed that sucker up. So like, I mean, I would be cutting really fast, I'd be coloring really fast, and I'm like, man, if I can only really go that fast on doing this stuff. Um, but yeah, in the very, very beginning, I didn't have that. And so I learned the hard way that nope, you can't be doing this stuff on these pre-records, because it just made the video clip like so long. And then even the video was like really, really long. Now with that, I mean, look what happens on my Friday Night Lives. We're at an hour and a half now. Will probably be a blah, 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 blah. Probably be about the same amount of time normally. The other one has a little bit to it as well, but I don't think it's too bad. Okay, so that's 2 of them. Now we got our last one. Terry, have you talked to Yvonne at all? I think she forgot. All right. Man, I hate whoever said fussy cutting is relaxing. I don't know. I don't find it relaxing. My thumb hurts. Nothing relaxing about fussy cutting. I will tell you that. Okay, now, what do we need? Okay, I need my Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And this color here is Gray Granite. I am going to take this piece here that I splattered, and let me get my Secret Sea piece. And where is my liquid glue? Okay, and all right, and then I'm going to attach this piece to my Secret Sea. And let's try and get it even and straight. Okay. And press that down. And hopefully my white is not still wet and smeary. All right, so then I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to come down a little bit lower with this instead of in the middle. Attach that down, and I'm going to wrap this 3 times. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, so let's trim this. Put that in there. Okay, and then I'm going to take this piece. I'm going to get my dimensionals. Do I have any out? Nope. Then let's add some across the middle. Okay. Yeah, so not long after I am done with tonight's live, you will already go and see next Friday's showing as upcoming, because like I said, I got everything done with it. I just couldn't, you know, schedule that live when I still had this one that I had to do. Okay, so now I'm going to take this panel and try and get this on here straight. Press that down. Okay, and then let's see, where are all of my mushrooms? So let me get my Secret Sea ones. I think Yvonne forgot, but I haven't seen her come on here. All right. So now I'm going to take my mushrooms and I'm going to place these right here. Okay, press those down, and then where are my bigger ones? Okay. All right, and then glue dots. Dots, where do you start? Okay. Okay, and then we'll put this right there. bit straighter. And then we got this one over here. Okay, so now let's get our cloud cover ones. And put some dimensionals here. Okay, and then these are going to kind of go right in between. Like so, and then for these I need my mini, and I need one, and I need to cut that in half. Okay. Put that there. Okay. All right, come on, get on there. Okay, so now these glue dots are definitely bigger. So what I am going to do with this, I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of glue. You know, I think the next time I decide that I'm going to take a whole week off, I think I need to take a look at the local school calendars to see when these kids are off. Evidently, they were off all week. Why? I guess for them, maybe it was a holiday on Monday, and then I saw something about the teachers were doing something on Tuesday, but the whole week, they were outside carrying on. Oh, look who showed up. You got a little busy. I just figured you forgot. Hi, Don. Okay, so there is that. And let's see, I want to take Winkostella again. And do the same thing. I'm going to kind of go around the white dots. So then that way I'm not dragging. Now it's not so much this cloud cover ink, but I know the Secret Sea, that one does kind of bleed into the white. Okay, got this one. Okay, and I'm going to do these stems too. Be sure to add your name to that Google spreadsheet if you want to be in the drawing for tonight's cards. I pinned the right comment this time. Okay, and then our Secret Sea ones. second. Okay, and then one more. Okay. Then I am going to bring in, these are the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls. And I am going to use, of course, the Secret Sea ones. So we'll put that one there, one up here, and then a tiny one over here. Okay, so there is the second card. So a little bit of distressing with the gray granite ink, and I like it. Okay. What am I hearing about skin? And Becky's here. Hello, Becky. All right. Now our final card. So our final card is going to have some distressing to it too. So that's, it kind of gave me, this was the card I actually put together first. So this kind of gave me the idea of what to do with that card that we just created. All right. Now, let me get a PDF here for card number 3. All right, move some stuff out of the way. All right, so my card base, this is Cajun Craze, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of basic beige for my inside, that's 5 1/4 by 4. I have a scrap piece of basic beige. This is what I'm going to stamp my mushrooms on. Then I have a layer of, come on, I can pick it up, another layer. This is Cajun Craze. It's 5 by 3 3/4. And then out of a scrap piece of basic beige. This is also from the More Messages dies as well. Die cut that, and then we're going to be stamping our greeting on that. And then this is the two, wow, I got like white paint all over everything. That's all on my hands. So this is the two-tone cardstock. This early espresso piece measures 4 by 3 3/4, and I embossed it ahead of time using the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. And then I have a piece of pecan pie. This is 3 by 3/4, and then this is Petal Pink, 2.5 by 3 3/4, and this too was embossed using that exposed brick embossing folder. All right, so let me fold and burnish this card base. Okay, and then I'm going to take my inside panel And I'm going to look for my seal. Add this to the inside. Oops, and it's a little crooked. Okay. All right, we'll set that aside. And then we have our piece of Cajun Craze. And let me bring in my scrap paper. And I have my little blending brush. And where is my Cajun Craze ink? My God, you know, there has not been one day or night since the people above me have not sounded like they're going to come through my ceiling. I swear. Okay, I'm going to go around the edges on the top and bottom of this. I'm not going to worry about the middle of it because the middle is going to be covered up. So I'm just making it a little bit darker on the top and the bottom edges. Okay, put that over there. And actually, I'm going to need that still. Okay, so let me set that aside and move this out of the way. I need to clean my stamps. I need this one. Okay. Man, I know how to make a mess, don't I? Okay, crumb cake, we need this one too. And I also need early espresso too. Man, I gotta move some stuff out of the way. It's too much stuff. Okay, Deborah, you sleep well. It's been in the 60s in Kentucky. And then the 40s. Oh my gosh. Send that down this way. Send it down this way. All right. So now we are going. Ooh, what do I want? I'm losing track of what I'm doing here. So I want the stamp that says just a little thank you. So let me take that off. And I'll put that on there. Okay. Move things out of the way. Okay. Pick this up. And I'll stamp that right there on my little tag. We'll set that aside. All right, so now for the mushrooms. So I'm going to take my larger one I'm going to ink that up in my Cajun Craze. Then I have a little sponge dauber thingy here, and I'm going to ink it up with my early espresso. And this underneath, there's something, oh man, you know, I really like my Stampin' Scrub. However, I don't like that the little fibers come off of it. Hold on, I gotta clean this. I was ready to stamp it, and I see that there was a fiber from this thing stuck to it. Okay, let's try this again. Ink it up in Cajun Craze, and then get my sponge dauber, and then this underneath part of my mushroom, I want to add that early espresso ink. Okay, and then stamp that right there, like so. And then I'm going to take my medium-sized one here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Ink it up in Cajun Craze. Add some early espresso underneath. And we'll stamp that right there. And then there is a smaller mushroom. Now this one doesn't punch out with the punch. So this one I'm going to stamp in early espresso. Okay. And then our stems, I'm going to stamp that. Now I'm done with Cajun Craze. Okay, so there's a little itty bitty tiny stem as well. Okay, so these are going to be inked up in crumb cake ink. Okay, and then the early espresso, I'm going to go along the inner edge of that and stamp that right there. And then my larger one, don't you go nowhere. And this one too, on the edge that kind of curves in. Okay. Stamp that. And then we have our little stubby one. Ink that up in crumb cake. And then take a little bit of early espresso and do that. So I really like the shadow effect with using the sponge dauber on this. Okay, so let's close these all up. We're done with those. Okay, so now let's kind of separate these. Okay, don't think I got enough. Nope. Well, Froggy. Right now the only Christmas cards I've gotten done have been whatever I've done for my videos. Hopefully I will have time to actually do more. I know that I also have to get started on those gifts that I do for the ladies at my church when we do our women's Christmas dinner, which is what I think December 5th, so that first Friday. Yeah. Gotta figure out what I'm doing with those. Okay, so let's take this smaller one. And there's that. Okay, and then let me separate these pieces here. These we're going to have to fussy cut. And then punch that out. Okay. And now cut this out. Alright. Alright, so there's the top for that one. Okay, now our little itty bitty stubby one. Okay. All right, so that is done. So let's set those aside. Now, for our two-tone cardstock pieces, so I have the darker side up on these. So let me make sure I got, is that the right way? I think that's the right way. Yeah. Yep. And then I think this goes this way. Yep. Okay. So for these pieces, what I'm going to do is I am going to tear towards me. So that way I am exposing that white center core of this paper. And I'm going to do the top and the bottom. Okay, and then same thing with the pecan pie. Brother Scan and Cut, oh yeah. Trust me, if I was mass producing these suckers, yeah, there wouldn't be no fussy cutting all that. Oh no. That Scan and Cut definitely would be coming out. That was definitely well worth the $300. Well, actually, you know what? I had a gift card that I earned. It was some kind of like wellness thing program that we did that did when I first started that job, and I earned myself like a $300 Amazon gift card, and that's exactly what I used it on, was on my brother's Scan and Cut. I love that thing. Okay, so we have our pieces torn, and I am going to take my adhesive and I'm going to adhere these panels together. So kind of center this right here on my early espresso. And then we'll do the same thing with the Petal Pink. And we'll put that right there, like so. All right, and then this whole panel, we're going to put this down on that Cajun Craze panel that I added the ink. We'll center that on there like so. Okay, so now we're going to get a little splattery again. So let me kind of move some stuff out of the way here. And let me clean this brush. Don't want a lot of water on here. And where is my grid paper? All right. Let's get our white paint and splatter. Yeah, the trick on this, and of course I got water spots, is not to use a lot of water. Okay, I think that looks good now that I made a big mess. All right, and then that block, I'll just clean that block off. Ooh, look at me. Got all this white paint all over me. That's basically what that white ink is. It's just really white paint. Now let me get my heat tool. And let's just get this dry so we can get our card assembled. I think we got it. All right. Now, hopefully that's all dry. Now I am going to take linen thread And just like I did on that other card, I'm going to wrap this around on this layer. And where's my tape? Man, my hands have white paint all over them. Okay. So I'm going to add my tape. And then I'm going to wrap this around 3 times. Okay, I really love the earthy colors of this card. Terry's covered. If one breaks, she's got backups. Okay, now this, and we'll trim that. And we're still going to need that because I want to tie a bow. I think this is still wet. Yeah, I can see that I still got, yeah, evidently it takes a while for that stuff to dry. All right. Now I want to take this and I want to pop this up on my card base. Okay, we don't want the dimensional coming off. We want that to stay. All right, now where's my card base? Okay, we will center that like so, and I'll flip this over. See, this stuff takes a very long time to dry. All right, now for our mushrooms, let's take our mushrooms and we'll add some dimensionals to the back. All right. And we'll take this one and we'll add this one right here. And we'll add this one right over there. And then for our stems, we'll add that there. And we got our little one. Our little one. Yeah, our little one. What are we doing? Glue. Glue, glue, glue. So I'm going to add a little bit on the bottom, a little bit up the top. And put that right there. Okay. We'll add a little bit of glue to the top of our bigger one. And we'll place that right there. And then, let's see, we have this one here. So we'll go right there. And then our little stubby, we'll get one of our small dimensionals. Cut that in half. Add that right there. Whew. And I'll tuck that right underneath like so. Okay, then the little greeting piece, we will add, so like we'll put 2 up at the top and then 2 at the bottom. Okay, and then that will go right over our linen thread. And then let me get a piece of linen thread, and then should tie this first. Man, my hands are, oof. Okay, so we tie a bow right there, and we'll trim tails a little bit. All right, now one more thing, and our card is done. Tell you what, this has been a long live. Man, I got enough scissors out. No, that won't go to that one. All right, so now for this one, the embellishments I'm going to use are the Cajun, Craze, and gold dots, since our card is primarily Cajun Craze. And, oops. And let's see, over here, and then, whew, there's the second card. I mean, the third card. Third card. There it is. I really like this one. It's messy, but I like these earthy colors together. Really like that. All right. Oh, Terry's leaving us. Okay, Terry. All right. So let's see, now let me kind of get this stuff out of the way, and let me bring in these other cards that I made. And this is your opportunity to go ahead and add your name to that spreadsheet if you'd like to be in the drawing for one of the cards. Okay, so here is our first one, our brightly colored one, using that retired Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper that came out as a celebration item to coordinate with this bundle. And then we kind of toned it down and went with the Secret Sea and the cloud cover colors, along with gray granite. So again, this card came after this third one that I made, and I kind of took some of this distressing type of elements and put it into that card and did the splatters as well. And then there is our third one with all these earthy colors and the splattering too. Okay, so go ahead, add your name to that spreadsheet while I just kind of get things tidy up a little bit so I can bring my laptop in here. I got stuff everywhere. Make a big mess. And I'll clean these up. I think I need to spray more in there. Bear with me. I know that everything's shaking. I'm just quickly cleaning these stamps. Oh, thanks, guys. Is everything crooked? Crooked. All right. Trying to get those all out of the way. Close that up. Man. All right. Let me kind of move those out of the way. And have some water. And let me grab my mouse and all right, let me see what we got here. Froggy, Terry, Tracy, Becky, and Sharon. And Terry just left us, didn't she? Okay. So I got Froggy, Terry, Tracy, Becky, and Sharon. Anybody else? Is Yvonne still here? Or did she fall asleep? Okay, Yvonne, would you like to be added? Does Don want to be added? Going once, going twice? Okay, Don. We got everybody? Is that it? Froggy, Tracy, Becky, Sharon, and Don? Okay. All right, so let me bring this in, and man, I am getting this stuff all over everything. I'm gonna have to wipe everything down. That white paint from the splatters. All right, trying to make sure that I'm straight here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get this going. Wow, we've gone a while here. Sharon. Okay, hold on. Where is... All right. Which chat disconnected? What are you talking about? Number one? Okay. Donna. Hello. That's okay. No problems. We are definitely on different time zones. Definitely. It's nighttime here, and I think it's morning time for you, right? Tracy. And number two. Okay, and then our last one, definitely our messiest one. Definitely our messiest one. Okay. Don, you got our final one. All right. Let me kind of get this stuff moved out of the way. And let me get the laptop out of the way. I'm definitely going to have a lot of stuff to wipe down along with my hands because they are, yeah, definitely got white paint all over them. So let me get back to the chat box here. So thank you everybody for joining me. If you could, please give the video a thumbs up. And of course, everyone who's here I know has already subscribed, but if you're watching the replay and you're new to my channel, I got lots and lots of content. As a matter of fact, this is video number 299. So my next one's going to be 300, which that next one is actually going to be my paper pumpkin unboxing, the one that's for the month of October. So I think that's our Christmas. Yeah, it's a Christmas kit. So yeah, I'm going to probably try and get that one done tomorrow before, we get bad weather later on in the day. So thank you all of you that have joined me on this live, and even for those of you who jumped on late, that's okay. The replay's there to where you can watch it from the beginning. This one definitely went a little bit longer, but we did have a lot, and there was even some fussy cutting done, which I don't like fussy cutting, but yeah, I did it. So Um, so thank you for joining me. Again, I already have things planned out for almost to the end of the month. I was very busy this past week. So next Friday, we're starting with Halloween. So am using the Fright Night bundle. As a matter of fact, that PDF will be put out there shortly because as soon as I'm done with this one, I can then set up the live for next Friday. And then next Thursday, what did I do for next Thursday? Oh, the frame scenes. That's another online exclusive that just recently went on the last chance list as well. So, again, my newsletter, the link is below. We still have that joining special that I talked about at the very beginning. If you want to be on the newsletter, again, there is a link in the description for that. And yeah, I think that's it, everybody. So wherever you are, those of you that are having cooler temps, I am very jealous. I can go for cooler temps right now. It is fall though. Maybe like I think all next week's gonna be in the 70s after we get this storm that comes through tomorrow. So everyone, thank you again for coming. Have stay safe, be cool, stay warm wherever you are, and everyone have a blessed one. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.